have been the focus of their families. You know the way you brought up your children are quite different from the way your parents brought you up. And they don't see that it's going to be any different in the workplace. They want to be valued. They want to be stars. When the Prime Minister created these scholarships in performing and creative arts, 2/3 of Auckland sixth formers thought they were going to get one, and that's why we've got this burgeoning in the whole enrolments. Graduates, 3-year degrees that are being paid for by society. They think they're paying maybe 4,000, another 16 from the government. So we need to put back. Of course we want them to be happy. Some of the parents say, oh, we just want our children to be happy. They're not going to be happy starving in a garret. Give them some good skills. They want to be media reporters. You know, thank you, Wendy Petrie. And that's so show them. You can't get a buy-on because you know stuff. I get rung up and asked about things to comment because I spend my weekend, you know, reading her ECD reports. And because I love it. Because I'm passionate about what we do, and I am very worried about the fact that we're not getting this message to our, you know, our young, that this is where you have worth and value. 33% of them want to have made a difference, and they hope they make a difference. They want to work for society. Come this way. This is New Zealand. We are New Zealand, and if we get the messages right, and Jim Anderson is still working for that, and David Carter's doing his best with the PGP, but needs some help because of the business thing, then New Zealand will take back its place as a leader. And I'm looking forward to it. I just gave you a closing line. Oh, God. Sorry, I'm trying to push
thanks very much for that.
Yeah, I mentioned the wide jet for you.
No, thanks very much for raising the profile of under-spending on agriculture, R&D, and what's effectively holding us back as a country from leading the economy out of recession. But what I would like to ask is, would it add value to the cause if Federated Farmers was to try and encourage talks between our major political parties to get a bipartisan long-term agreement, as we do in foreign affairs and trade? We'd like to have similar policies, because given the long-term nature and the significance of the economy, it probably has the similar value as foreign affairs and trade to get agreement. And
it would. And Paul Hutchison did mention this yesterday down at the Christchurch Science meeting. There is a continued feeling that if we're going to get some medium and long-term stuff, we have to have that sort of agreement.
Okay, well maybe you could help me draft a late agreement.
Fine.
Thanks.
Last question. Thank you. It saddens me to see that the New Zealand is actually sitting on the cheapest cut of that animal.
Leading, it's the lead.
I am a farmer and I live alongside a pristine lake, and I'm under significant pressure from local authorities to clean up any nutrients that may run off my farm into the lake. I have done quite a lot of work myself to stop that happening, but I am fast running out of tools and I have to look to science to do something for me. Now, it appears that in the past, when we had, as you said a little earlier, ag-research and the DSII grasslands working away to our benefit, there was significant progress being made. The question I have to ask is the current competitive corporate sort of model, is it appropriate for basic scientific research in this day and age, or do we, as the previous speaker said, have to go back to the government for more funds, and especially on the high-risk stuff?
Yeah. No, the question is it appropriate? No. We don't get the long-term, innovative, in depth and in detail stuff that we need. What happens with the competition is that Ag-Research is trying to spread its risk, as all the CRIs and the universities, and trying to track in from different sources, so that there are senior scientists working on 25 different projects, so that they, you can imagine 25 different projects on quarterly reporting, for God's sake. It's absolutely ridiculous. And they don't do in-depth and in-detail thinking. If you're always thinking about 25, at universities we would say we can supervise 7, 8, 9 students at a time, because that's the number of projects you can hold in your brain. And to be working on 25, no. So the contestability is not there, and most people would say it ought to be a sort of Australia, they've got 100% secure funding, and they bid for the stuff around the edge, more the technology, the business stuff. So maybe that's a model you can put. If we want the business funding, then put the CRIs, but then how do you choose that as the grandparent? Put them on stable funding, and for the actual R&D, the D side of it, contest, and then you'd be following up decent stuff of the 539 ideas, of which 35 will make it do launching, instead of silly, because somebody thinks they might fund it. Oh, he's cut me off.
Thank you, Jacqueline. As usual, she's challenged us, and she's made us go away thinking that we need to do better. And it's always a privilege to have you here. Thank you very much indeed.